Call to order the City of Westfield, Indiana Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for October 26, 2016. Please note the presence of quorum.
I do have a quorum.
Very good. Action item number 1 is approval of minutes from September 28, 2016. Having had time to review those, are there any additions, corrections, or comments?
Not on my part.
Me neither. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and approved to accept action item number 1, the minutes of September 28, 2016. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Down to action item number 2, stormwater user fee credits.
Click on it. As you know, in our stormwater utility rate manual that we have that was approved earlier this year, part of that in the back is where non-residential properties have the option to do things to improve their stormwater user. And we have multiple ones, and they can do, out of the 9 or 10 that we have, they can do multiple ones, but they're maxed out at 30% credit if they do, no matter how many they do. We had a local educational institution that asked if educational institutions can reach up to a 50% max. So all we've done on here is the top paragraph shows what the verbiage is now and then what we were proposing for the private educational institutions to be eligible to earn a maximum of 50% credit towards reducing their stormwater user fee.
Why?
Why would they? Because
Why not 30%, which is what it was, right?
because I believe that currently our public schools are eligible as tax exempt to get more than that. So we were trying
Okay.
to make it equal
Is that
with the
correct?
private.
Is that,
Yeah, the schools are often given 50% credits on a lot of our fees. It was always argued that you're taking from one taxing authority to give to another one. It didn't make much sense. And that was the philosophy behind it.
They have already applied and been approved for one already, and now they would like to add on another, which is the
So
education.
public schools are eligible for 50 and private schools are not, and that's what this changes.
I'd like to make it the same for both.
I remember when this came through on the individual one, that's why it sounds so familiar. And we approved that. I think I made the motion to approve.
but not at 50%, we didn't.
Thought we did. Maybe not.
This is what gives it authority to become
Okay.
50%, is what, it was 30% as I recall,
Okay, all right.
which was the maximum at the time.
So we are changing
If
what?
they choose to
What
use
you're
multiple.
doing is allowing private schools to get the same benefit as tax-supported schools.
So we have the authority to make that change in the,
At the board level?
I didn't think the ordinance allowed for it.
The ordinance is silent to credits in general.
I'm confused.
If you want to do it, you can do it. But what you're doing is changing the rationale behind the 50% reduction for the public schools. Churches are still treated the same, aren't they? And elementary or like daycares. Montessori or something Yeah,
like that?
I think they're still
Yeah.
treated 30% max as well as a private enterprise. Like I said, the rationale behind it was one taxing authority taxing another taxing authority.
Yeah, I get all that, but do we have the authority to change the ordinance?
It's silent on it. They've been doing this practice for 30% and administrating it. Now, all she's doing is, do you want to make private schools the same as public schools, publicly supported schools?
I get that. Can
So,
this board
yes.
do that?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe just a quick comment, if I may. The public schools automatically get 50%. If they were to apply for credits, they would go above the 50%. So whereas we start at 0%, we as the private, and with the credits, we can get up to the 50%, but the public, so it's not really making it even, if you will, if you look at it that perspective. Public schools get 50% no matter what.
Well, gang, what do you think?
Not sure where I stand on it.
If there's additional information you want, or maybe go back to some of the folks who adopted this originally and their rationale, you can push this off and they can keep these
I
collections.
think we need to do that.
Yeah, because I was thinking of one thing in my mind, obviously, which I stated out loud, was not what this is. So I was confused as to what I was considering. So I
Yeah, it's easy to get into the not-for-profit charitable versus taxing authority. And those are three very different things.
How many private educational institutions would there be in Westfield?
I have no idea if you want to count daycares, which may be
Yeah,
eligible.
no,
Well, I guess that's, I would want to know, I'd want a ballpark. Are we talking about 10? Or are we talking
Yeah, you
about
got
50?
probably a dozen or
Well, then you
maybe
have
2 dozen.
churches with schools. you
Yeah,
have
probably 2 dozen
Home
anyway.
daycares,
So
which I don't know if they.
I'd move that we table this for further research.
I'll second that.
I'm fine with that.
No. Motion's been made and seconded to table action item 2, pending more detailed information and consideration of that information. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I'll make sure they get the information they need so this will be ready next month.
Okay.
But there won't be any collection processes.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought I knew what I was considering, but then I realized that I didn't know enough about it to feel comfortable making a decision, so.
And if there's anything, obviously, thing we could provide that would be helpful, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Moving on to action item number 3, conflict of interest disclosure statement for Officer Jeff Swatowski.
Yeah, this is, and I don't think you actually saw a copy of it. This is the original draft and the only one that, and Ryan, chime in if you want. but-
Sure, this is a conflict. of interest
Renewal,
form.
annual.
Yeah, and well, this is a new one for him.
Oh,
It is,
Is that the
his
school
wife
board
is a,
thing that has all
Renee is
the-
a
what they can do
veterinarian.
for
we
credits?
ever talked about
Can I
this
see it?
before? Is it new?
It's a different, she works for a different company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
So when she moved, we'd like to move also because obviously the dog doesn't bite her. I mean, in this, and there's really no difference in the, or value financially. It's really about the care of the dog. And we're able to get better care for the dog because you don't have to muzzle the dog and it's easier for her to do her job with the dog. So,
Right. Okay.
So we're looking just for an acknowledgement and motion to move forward.
Yeah, so we would use Herman Veterinarian Clinic,
Is there a city, where is Herman
and
Veterinary?
it's in Noblesville,
Okay.
19263 Little Chicago Road in Noblesville, Indiana.
Okay. Make a motion to approve action item number 3.
Second?
Have a motion to approve and seconded to approve action item number 3. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
And on the consent agenda, that's up for consideration, there's some bond information. Is that something that we need to actually
Sorry,
cover, or are we good with the consent agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Phil was giving us something interesting.
Sorry.
Anybody want to pull anything off the consent agenda or just approve it as it is?
That's what I was trying to
That's
ask.
what you said.
Thank you, Brian.
That's what he meant.
Well, maybe I didn't say that.
I heard it. I just-
Yeah. I don't have anything to pull off. Did you want to see?
Fine. No, I saw it.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I had seen that the fire chief was not going to be here. I don't see any other representative. On to Chief Rush.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. Couple things of note. Wade Tron, who's the last person that we had hired, just graduated from the Law Enforcement Academy. Proud of him, that the fact that he graduated with honors and actually Top Gun of the class. So
Saw that
Wow.
pretty
on
cool.
social. Very cool.
For a kid that hadn't shot up until a week before the academy when we took him out there.
No bad habits.
No bad habits. It's like golf, I guess.
Yeah.
So he starts FTO now. He's pepper sprayed yesterday. He'll be tased today as part of his training and learning
Randy loves that part.
those tools. And
It hurts.
he'll go on to his FTO phase, which will last at least 2 months. So, other than that, we're doing active shooter training
Now?
in this building, actually.
Yes.
For the people that work in this
Right
building.
now.
So we'll have it, we had it at 9 and at 1, it's being conducted by Song Kang. And then tomorrow from 9 to 1, he'll be doing it. So going into, it's kind of how the philosophy is kind of the same as with the schools and the ALICE program, teaching that here. So we can, and Angie's on the team that's leading the emergency plans for the building, and that'll be part of that. What else? Something else. Oh, Citizens Academy, the next one graduates Thursday, so we're actually doing that. Sorry to say, we're having that at Jonathan Bird is catering that for us up in one of their suites, so they've agreed to kind of provide that room for us, so it'll be kind of fun, so.
Nice.
That's it.
I'm not laughing at you. I was like,
You're laughing with me, right? Yeah. That's all I have.
What?
Thanks, Chief.
Yes, I'll tell you.
Thanks, Chief. Department of Public Works.
Did you have any questions on our department updates?
What's your next bid project? Is it Ditch Road or did that already bid?
That's already bid. We're getting ready to award it once we get the bond figured out. So
So you're done
next one will be 186 in Spring Mill. That's a federally funded project.
and you'll bid that when? It's a federal, that's a NDOT.
Yep,
bid.
NDOT will actually handle that bidding, and I believe
Was it
that goes
January?
in July.
July.
Yep,
Okay, it's a fiscal, yeah.
fiscal 18, so
18.
July of 17.
So if you can bid
Working
it-
through right away right now.
All the beautiful resurfacing is done. Now the street crew's
Beautiful
out putting
resurfacing.
stone shoulders on it. We have a ribbon cutting next Friday. You should
For
come to that for
Midland
the
4.
Midland 4, which is
Gray Road.
up to Gray Road. Mayor's gonna be there.
Yeah, gonna make it. Might
I
ride
think
my
that, I think to celebrate, we're gonna run on the new portion.
You're not gonna run, so you don't fall
No,
down and hurt
together.
your nose again.
is that what happened?
Yeah, she tripped, hit
Tell
her
you on the
nose.
record.
Okay.
That's our exciting news.
Okay, anything else?
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Nice job.
14
Randy.
minutes.